whether it's the people who have been for him or the people who've been against him. Why would we unite behind him? He doesn't have a good word to say about anybody, and the only time he has a good word to say about anybody is if you kiss his behind.
So kiss his behind, yeah, so what? It's better than Trump, even if you don't like Trump.
Not after what he's done.
It's got to be better than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama, no?
Look, I don't think any of those choices are good choices. That's why I'm running.
All right, welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. That was our next guest, former New Jersey governor and 2024 presidential candidate Chris Christie, who joined Eric Bolling right here on Newsmax on Monday. Governor, good morning. Great to have you back in
Good to be back, Rob.
I want to talk about that in a moment, but first, we got to change plans a little bit because history was made on Capitol Hill yesterday. Kevin McCarthy, after 9 short months, out as Speaker. What do you make of what we saw play out yesterday? Who would you like to see get the gavel next? It's early. We've got a week until they vote again. But this is going to be a really important decision that could affect you if you're the nominee in 24.
Well, sure. It definitely will affect whoever the next president is. And I intend it to be me. But look, I'd say this. It doesn't make Republicans look good around the country. That, after 9 months, we're sending the speaker out the door. Folks are nervous about our economy. They're nervous about the fact that we essentially have an absentee president in the White House who doesn't look like he knows what's going on half the time. And we need to get this resolved. We were talking about this off air. I don't know why we had to wait a week to resolve this. They all know each other quite well. I think they should have gotten together, made a choice, and gotten back to work. But it is what it is. I think, all the names you're hearing are possibilities. Steve Scalise, I would think, would be the front runner for it, but we need to see how his health is.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's dealing with some serious health issues, and only he knows, how that's going. I think Tom Emmer is another guy. Jim Jordan's another guy who would be considered. But in the end, I think, you look at what Matt Gaetz and that crew did yesterday. They were complaining because Kevin McCarthy teamed with some Democrats to pass a 45-day spending bill. They teamed with the Democrats to kick the speaker out. I don't know how that's any better, if not worse, than to get in league with the Democrats to kick the speaker out. So 8 Republicans
and 202 Democrats yesterday. So here's what's interesting, and I'm wondering if you think that maybe Kevin McCarthy was doomed from the start because, 2015, McCarthy was the next in line. It was Paul Ryan. Instead, he didn't have the votes 8 years ago. Fast forward to January, and we've got 5 days, and it was a 15-round slugfest to get the gavel. Here we are 9 months later. Was this bound to happen sooner or later with Kevin McCarthy? And could this be a moment for Republicans, again, glass half full, to maybe unite the party around a single candidate 7 days from today?
Well, I hope it is. For our country's sake, first and foremost, we need an effective, cohesive Republican majority in the House to stop the crazy things that Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer want to do to the country. So I hope that we do that, and I hope they get behind someone, and I hope they don't make them comport to all the crazy rules that they made Kevin comport with. And I think Kevin was doomed from the beginning in this respect. When you take the job under those circumstances, you're always right on the edge. And I don't think he ever got off the edge, and they pushed him over the edge yesterday. And I know Kevin for a long time. I like him. I think he did some good things in the 9 months that he was there. But you know what? We need to get somebody now who has the support of the majority of the caucus, if that's possible, to get us to 218 and to get somebody who can actually govern.
All right, let's get back to that question that Eric Bolling asked you on Monday night. He threw out a bunch of names and basically asked if everybody that was on stage with you for debate number 2 last week would be better than current leadership, meaning Kamala Harris, the vice president, and, of course, the guy in the Oval Office, Joe Biden. Yeah. Donald Trump wouldn't be a better alternative to those two? You stand by that?
I think they're all bad.
And I asked just because he's the front runner right now.
Yeah, I think they're all bad alternatives. And what I said to Eric was, the other folks who stood on stage with me, I think all of them would be good, competent presidents. That's not the point. The problem is, we saw this, Rob, yesterday. We have all this tumult going on inside of our party. And you have Donald Trump sitting in a courtroom in New York City, tending to his millions, not getting involved, seemingly, in this, not being a leader of the party, despite the fact that he's twice been our nominee and is the front runner this time.
Yeah.
I want your viewers who like the president and who support him to understand this is what the next 2 years is going to look like. And by the way, on the criminal trials, he's not going to have the option not to show up.
Yeah.
The civil trial, he doesn't have to show up, but he is.
He does. I think it's maybe good for his campaign. He gets the opportunity to address the media every single day. It'll happen again today. Let me ask you about what's going on with you
Not good
right
when
now.
you're standing, Rob. Not good.
We'll see if it affects him in the polls, though. It hasn't yet.
Again, the polls now are meaningless. If he is the guy who is our nominee, if he stays the front runner and gets the nomination, and Joe Biden is out there campaigning, and Democrats are out there campaigning, and Donald Trump's in a courtroom in Washington, D.C., being tried in a criminal trial. I don't care how many statements he gives on the courthouse steps. That's not the visual you want for a presidential candidate. We're going to lose, and we'll have another 4 years of Joe Biden. Unacceptable.
Governor, just a quick one. The RNC warned you and Vivek Ramaswamy not to debate on Fox News together. You're now going to go on individually, or you've done so. Why would you let Ronna McDaniel and the RNC sort of dictate terms like that to you as you campaign for the nomination?
Because they said they were going to kick us off the debate stages for the rest of the debates.
You think that's fair?
No, I don't think it's fair, and I said that. And I don't understand why the RNC would think that less debate among our candidates, less information to the voters is a good thing.
Yeah.
And all I can conclude, Rob, is they're carrying Donald Trump's water. Trump does not want these debates to go on. He's called for all of them to be canceled. He doesn't want any conversation because he's ahead in the polls, so he doesn't want any competition.
And it doesn't look like he's going to be on stage next month in November.
No, he's not. But let's be very clear. Vivek and I were in Washington ready to do it, and they threatened both of us that if we did, we're done. We're not going to be on any more debate stages. And so, given that choice, we decided to do separate interviews. Yep.
Yeah. All right, Governor Chris Christie, great having you in studio this morning. Nice to see you again,
good to be back. Thank you.